The reach of Elon Musk's current empire covers the full spectrum of high-stakes technology: orbital space exploration, humanoid robotics, and generative artificial intelligence. Tesla's autonomous robots are already rapidly transitioning from early lab prototypes to physical entities walking on active manufacturing floors. Based on the combined growth of these ventures, financial analysts now project he is on track to become the world's first individual worth $1 trillion. But there is a hypothetical scenario where this entire interconnected system begins a rapid, catastrophic unwind. This trillion-dollar valuation exists as a sensitive projection on paper. It fluctuates based on the market's continuous belief that his companies can execute a science fiction future with zero margin for error. SpaceX's current market value rests on two massive overlapping objectives: using the Starlink satellite network to monopolize global internet, and using those profits to fund the first human colony on Mars. This functional MRI scan shows the specific heat maps of brain activity that Neuralink's biological interfaces are designed to interpret. They are currently testing a project called BlindSight, which aims to route camera data directly into the visual cortex to restore sight to the blind. This chart shows how investor belief in these physics-defying missions directly drives market capitalization. Each new announcement of a breakthrough creates an aggressive spike in company value. However, as we look beneath these peaks of paper wealth, the actual liquid cash buffer is surprisingly narrow. Because the empire's foundation is built on the continuous delivery of the impossible, a single major failure in a core project risks triggering a cascading collapse. We can trace this cascade starting with XAI and the volatile race for artificial superintelligence. The industry is currently bracing for an inference explosion, the moment when the demand for running AI models scales exponentially. Because AI hardware is often optimized for specific software architectures, a competitor's breakthrough in model efficiency could leave his massive multi-billion-dollar server clusters underperforming and commercially uncompetitive. This digital web shows how his ventures are financially linked. A devaluation in the AI sector would trigger a red pulse across the network, instantly eroding the stock collateral he uses to finance his other companies. This fragile network is further complicated by his highly unpredictable public persona. His social media activity introduces a layer of unpredictable volatility that the traditional market struggles to price. If that volatility causes cautious institutional investors to pull back their funding or leads to a freeze in government defense contracts for SpaceX, the capital required to keep the mission alive disappears. An empire built on massive capital generation cannot survive a hit that simultaneously devalues its technology and its reputation. The stress test continues in the physical world, where regulatory freezes on Starship launches could collide with production hell on Tesla's assembly lines. Musk uses the idiot index, jawing the massive gap between exorbitant legacy aerospace parts and their actual raw material cost. He closes this using a 5-step algorithm: question requirements, delete, simplify, accelerate, automate. The most aggressive step is deleting entire processes. While this removes cost, it also removes the standard corporate buffers that protect a company during a crisis. There are no backup layers left to absorb a major shock. The very algorithm that enables his unprecedented speed is the same mechanism that ensures total exposure if a major miscalculation occurs. The 2008 financial crisis provides the actual historical precedent for this level of systemic pressure. During that year, both Tesla and SpaceX were simultaneously weeks away from total bankruptcy, following a series of rocket launch failures and production delays. Musk had $30 million left. Rather than saving one company, he split the money between both, a move that could have easily resulted in the death of both ventures. A traditional market mindset prioritizes self-preservation. A missionary mindset prioritizes the physics of the goal, accepting the possibility of total ruin as a necessary cost of the attempt. The constant threat of collapse is not a design flaw in the system. It is the engineered requirement for achieving outcomes the rest of the world considers impossible. This dynamic isn't exclusive to trillion-dollar empires. It is the fundamental nature of all innovation. Moving the needle requires a willingness to embrace uncertainty, risk failure, and withstand scrutiny. Every major success story is built on the reality that the next breakthrough exists exactly one step away from total failure.